Greetings, ASU family. I'm Christine Thomas, Associate Vice President for Institutional Effectiveness, and I'm excited to present to you on behalf of our President, Dr. Quentin T. Ross Jr., Focus 2030, advancing the legacy and bridging communities through commitment, collaboration, and creativity. Focus 2030 builds on ASU's long tradition of scholarship, innovative research, and scientific discovery. Our roadmap is a reflection of our commitment to developing leaders, shaping policy, being socially and politically engaged, while holding steadfast to our commitment to service. The strategic plan is the result of a collaborative and inclusive process that involved ASU students, faculty, staff, and administrators, alumni, and external stakeholders who shared their vision for ASU. Focus 2030 embraces the values that our institution holds dear: pride, integrity, impact, diversity, and loyalty. These values are folded into the framework utilized in the development of our 7 anchors of purpose: academic excellence, student success, fiscal growth and institutional integrity, Communiversity, continuous improvement and growth, philanthropic growth, and marketing and communications. The plan outlines institutional goals and objectives, as well as metrics to measure our progress. It is a comprehensive 10-year plan that will serve as a roadmap to achieve our vision and better position ASU to successfully meet the challenges of an increasingly complex world that will need ASU graduates that are well prepared to lead change and provide solutions to our most persistent problems. As ASU prepares to navigate the next decade, Focus 2030 will serve as a guide to implement the practical, achievable steps needed to position ASU as the institution of choice for all students and a global competitor within higher education. Anchor 1. Academic excellence has always been a hallmark of ASU since its founding in 1867. The first anchor the strategic plan outlines is a bold vision to sustain and improve program quality and instruction, strengthen research and creative activities, and achieve our goal as a Carnegie classification doctoral professional university.
One of the things that I was most happy with regards to the construction of the and ideology behind the strategic plan was the involvement at all levels, involving the students, involving the faculty, involving the staff, and us as administrators as well. I think there was input at all levels, quite honestly, in terms of the acknowledgement of the need to grow our academic offerings and to actually grow opportunities, which is an array of things, or encompasses an array of things. Research and service are 2 pillars of ASU's mission. And one of the things that we are definitely eager to do in the Office of Academic Affairs is to increase our footprint from a standpoint of research and scholarly activity for our faculty members, as well as our students. We're looking to build upon existing partnerships for our students to be able to conduct research, conduct learning opportunities, service learning opportunities as well, job shadowing and things of that sort. For our faculty, we're looking to cultivate their research and scholarly activity from the standpoint of funding planning grants and things of that sort to help them launch research, their research ambitions. A heavy focus on the non-STEM areas. We've been doing well on the STEM side, and there's been great progress throughout the entire campus. But we want to help and encourage research and scholarly activity across the campus. In terms of receiving doctoral classification from a Carnegie perspective, it will take us into a new realm as it relates to our research capabilities, as well as securing external partnerships and funding. In terms of attracting the best and the brightest from a student perspective as well as a faculty perspective, it'll allow us to be even better capable of doing so We have great talent here at Alabama State University, and the growth as an institution could only expound upon that.
Anchor 2. Students are at the core of our strategic plan, and Anchor 2 offers strategies aimed at fostering an inclusive, caring environment that both supports student achievement and prepares students for careers and/or postgraduate study.
Having our Student Success Center within the strategic plan is beneficial for our students because it allows them to be able to have those positive resources that's related to their academic success. Finally, to have the ability to move very, very important units within our Student Success Center and to be able to coordinate and collaborate with different units within academic affairs within one central location. It gives an opportunity for us to have this one-stop shop for our students, particularly our first semester students, to be able to transition from high school to college, be able to utilize their resources that is going to be pivotal for their academic and student engagement success.
Well, some of the things that I really like in our strategic plan is that collaboration between student affairs and academic affairs. Last year, we actually formed the retention task force in which we tasked all of the major advisors in the colleges to identify their students. That's very important, early academic advising, simply because we want to make sure that as our students are pursuing their educational goals, we're actually tying it to their career goals. So part of the retention task force is on a semester basis, making sure that we are reaching out to our students, making sure that they're following their curriculum plan and being able to connect the curriculum plan to career services. So all the things that we have in our strategic plan, that happens to be one of my favorite activities or initiatives that we are going to pursue in order to help our students not only to be successful during their years here at ASU, but also to prepare them for future endeavors, whether that be graduate school, professional schools, or going directly into their career.
Anchor 3. Integrity is a value that is reflected throughout the strategic plan, and Anchor 3 is all about strengthening ASU's fiscal position to ensure financial growth and sustainability for the next decade and beyond.
The strategic plan, as you know, is a guideline for the university for a number of years, just as the university budget is a guideline on spending for a year. The university, of course, is facing challenges of funding, although the state of Alabama has been very fortunate during these times to have been able to increase our state appropriations. But funding from other sources and the challenges that come not only from COVID, but from enrollment and the number of fewer students available to come to higher education institutions. And so we are looking at any number of opportunities, additional grant opportunities that will help move us forward, additional partnerships with corporations such as Apple and Hyundai to bring a partnership arrangement and additional funding for the university. We have to have buy-in from the entire campus community with the budget process, and part of the strategic plan is identifying who we want to be and what we want to offer the campus community, what courses, what kind of institution, and then extracurricular activities. So you have to take all of those things into account in order to come up with a plan. Where are we going? What is our anticipated enrollment in the future? And again, what are we offering our students? And how do we get to the point that we can offer that to our students?
Anchor 4. Partnerships build the relationships, shared understanding and collective focus for advancement and lasting progress. Anchor 4 of our strategic plan explains how ASU plans to strengthen its ties to the community through a unique concept called Communiversity.
I think it's a very interesting and exciting concept, and it means being one with the community. It's a campus for the community. And I really applaud our President Ross for actually envisioning the opportunity for us to build relationships and forge new partnerships in areas within our community. It's like a communication cycle. The university speaks to the community speaks back to the university about the development of new programs and building relationships where there is, in fact, common good. I think one example of that too was when we actually offered the COVID testing and also the vaccines and the delivery of that into our community. So it's an exciting venture that we can perfect even more over time.
I think Communiversity is the foundation of Alabama State University. Even when you think of when Alabama State University was founded, it was founded on the principle of community. And so now here we are 154 years later, and we've had the concept of Communiversity. I will say here at Alabama State University, we understand the meaning of an educational ecosystem. And again, no one institution can provide all of the needs for our students alone. And so we do that through our partnerships. We do that through our community, our alumni, our faculty, our staff, our students, and all of the stakeholders bring so many resources to the table for us to be able to move the university forward. Anchor 5, understanding our challenges, defining manageable goals, identifying drivers that could help achieve milestones, and implementation are all integral to a continuous improvement and growth process. Anchor 5 of our strategic plan is our most expansive. It touches all aspects of the university, from customer service, fiscal responsibility and human resources, to IT, facilities, and public safety.
I think it's very important that the strategic plan included investing in staff, because the staff is the actual framework of the university. It is the foundation that sets the actual roadmap for delivery of quality service, not only the student side, but also in our external customers that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. I think it's very important to include recruitment of high quality talent, top talent, and focus on retention, because it ensures that the university has highly skilled human capital assets that consistently add value to the bottom line in order to move the university forward. And more specifically, it reduces the associated cost with turnover. It also enhances overall employee performance and creates a climate of client-centric service delivery throughout the university.
It has been a challenge, a major challenge moving forward with the pandemic. It's caught us off guard. But one thing I can assure the university as it relates to our technology plan, we were on point. We were already moving in that direction, not knowing that the pandemic was on its way. But we had already looked at our infrastructure, looked at the on-demand, the needs for our students and the faculty and staff, how they wanted to do instruction. So we were already poised for that. And we had already begun to develop our infrastructure. And the only thing we had to do was get into the virtualization of the technology, and that was one of the things we had to do, get the medium set aside for that. But we want to stay on the cutting edge. I know there's a cloud trend that's going on right now, and we need to move to the cloud like everyone else and adopt that and adjust to that. But moving to the cloud is just not a buzzword now. When you say moving to the cloud, there's a strategic process that you had to really go through in order to do that. You don't just say we're going to the cloud. You have to put a strategy together, you got to do an integration package, you got to make sure you do that right. So we want to move in that direction, but we want to be a planned move, sound, that we can actually escalate to another level as we transition. We want to get prepared for whatever's there on the perimeter that we know nothing about.
Well, when we're talking about the strategic plan that was outlined, we were able to do a deep dive into what we already have done and what we are looking to do as technology advances. So we were excited about being able to allow the collaboration with the strategic plan team to just kind of help us map or create the roadmap. Technology is advancing. We are wanting to move to the cutting edge, but we also have to be very mindful of how to do that in a manner that suits the university, as well as accomplish the goals technology-wise. So those are some of the things that we were excited about in the strategic plan, and it allowed us to just kind of reach for the stars when we started to plan and outline for the university.
I think when we begin to look at developing a master plan, of course, you're going to go across the strategic plan, because the strategic plan will guide the master plan. And so when we begin to look at what components we're going to facilitate or look at, first you have to start with the academic piece, because programmatically your buildings have to support the programs that you will implement from the academic side of the house, as well as from the student side. You have to ensure that the facilities are comfortable, the facilities are safe, the facilities are in a situation where they can be maintained, and of course we've got to make sure that we're right-sizing our space that we utilize. So there are a lot of pieces that actually will be involved as we begin to develop this master plan, looking at the strategic plan. The financial piece also adds a caveat to it, in that we've got to be fiscally sound in how we facilitate our buildings, how we maintain our buildings, how we build our buildings. So all of that kind of curtails itself to know that we're going to go across the table in our facility, in our strategic plan, and it'll help us a great deal to use it as a guide in developing our master plan. In addition to that, the data that we collect from both all of the departments and across the university will allow us to know where we're headed and what the vision is and how do we need to build forward.
I was asked by Dr. Christine Thomas, my thoughts, about public safety and how it can in turn tie into the strategic plan. And like I said, I just brought up, students first, and this training center, and what that can provide, for our criminal justice students, or just students that wanted to use it as an elective. The development of a public safety training center is very important on this campus, or in this region, for two parts. First part being our students, our criminal justice majors, can take advantage of coming out, on campus here, getting that training, as well as our sworn personnel with continuing education hours, which they're required to take so many hours, for a year. With this being a historically black college university, and with it being such a demand for minorities in this career field, it's a win-win.
Anchor 6, alumni giving, foundation and corporate support, and small donations work together to form a broad and diverse base of support to sustain Alabama State University. Anchor 6 speaks to our opportunities to increase fundraising using innovative strategies that make stakeholders understand why supporting ASU is always a good investment.
Instilling a sense of responsibility into our students and our alumni to support Alabama State University is going to be a multi-pronged strategy. The department, we look at a concept of intentional engagement, use intentional philanthropy. And so for us, in teaching people how to become alums, we're going to start with our students. So we're going to start working with some first-year experience initiatives to really make them understand how the institution works, why we need the support, what it means to be an alum. We don't come out of high school saying, hey, I'm going to be this magnificent alum when I graduate college. We need to be taught how to become alums. And that's going to be one of the biggest pieces that we focus on this year is education. On the alumni front, what we're going to be working on is educating our alums about the amazing ways to give. There's so many different opportunities and ways to support the institution, but we have to educate others how to support us and why, and talking about the impact of what they have done and how that works. People give to winning causes. And so while a lot of people like to kind of market on the side of lack, we're going to market on the side of abundance, because Alabama State University has been blessed to start off with 9 freedmen and $500 to be the institution we are right now. We know we have greatness running through our DNA. So we're going to operate from a spirit of abundance and not lack. And we're going to operate to be intentional about what it is we do for Alabama State University.
Anchor 7, Effective communications are essential for brand trust. The 7th and final anchor of our strategic plan offers strategies that define marketing and communications as rendering service to ASU and the larger community, in addition to providing an opportunity to express who we are and what we value.
Marketing will have a very pivotal role in the success of our strategic plan. We know that the campus will do all of the work. Those campus stakeholders will do the work to make sure that the plan is implemented and executed successfully. But I feel that for full success, we have to have our other stakeholders engaged. As a matter of fact, we're looking at 3 key words, and those are to make sure they're educated, to make sure they're engaged, and then to make sure that they're empowered. We will educate them about what the plan is, those specifics that relate to them. We will also engage them when it comes to the areas that they have some kind of buy-in and they have some kind of relevance. And then, once those things are done, they're empowered to help ASU make sure that that plan is successful. Even with the strategic plan, we will tell our story. We will use a marketing form of that plan to include small stories, what I call vignettes, small snippets of information from different people who have been impacted or who actually relate to or related to the different aspects of the plan. In doing so, we're able to tell our stories in a multi-generational way, because we will have stories that relate to younger as well as older constituents, cross-generational. We also will use our 2022 President's Tour, COVID allowing. We will have our in-person President's Tour, and that allows us to go to different areas and tell the story of ASU. Dr. Ross leads the team that includes academics, it includes students, it includes people from the staff like me who say to you, this is ASU. And we bring it to them in in-person format. And what we're able to do is to share with them what Focus 2030 means, and all of those things that we talked about that will allow them to be educated, engaged, and empowered. We also will, every chance we get, to give Dr. Ross a platform to speak, whether it's the Rotary Club, or speaking to the City Council, or speaking at the legislature, speaking to a group of alums, wherever we can get his voice to talk about this plan and to talk about the vision and the mission and all that ASU does in our impact, we will have him there as our chief spokesman and other entities from the university. So our plan is to be robust and letting people know that Alabama State University has a great present, but we also have a greater future ahead of us.
We've touched on the more prominent strategies and goals in the new strategic plan. Here is how we will measure our progress.
The last component of Alabama State University's strategic plan, Focus 2030, is the scorecard. The scorecard is critical as this is the component that allows us to measure our progress to reach our goals and objectives by 2030 in order to fulfill our focus for 2030. The scorecard for Alabama State University's strategic plan, Focus 2030, includes many metrics, including peer-reviewed publications, retention rate of students from the first to the second year, alternative revenue generated, number of partnership agreements signed, number of alumni serving as ambassadors, customer satisfaction, capital campaign funds raised, and the number of positive media stories published. We encourage and look forward to everyone's commitment, collaboration, and creativity to realize the goals of ASU's strategic plan, Focus 2030.
I hope you have enjoyed this overview of our new strategic plan. As I close, I am reminded of a quote by Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Each of us has an important role to play in the implementation of the strategic plan, and I know you will do your part to help advance our university as a national leader in developing students through a transformational educational experience with global impact. For more information about Focus 2030, you can download a copy of the plan from our website at www.alasu.edu. Thank you.